Hello and welcome to Joe Thompson Film Reviews, and today I'm reviewing American Sniper. So American Sniper is directed by Clint Eastwood. It stars Bradley Cooper and Sienna Miller, and it's the story of Chris Kyle, the most lethal sniper in American history who killed over 160 people. Now this film has attracted a lot of controversy. I'm going to try and sort of skirt around the edges of that and talk about the film itself as opposed to the politics behind it. So firstly, the performances. Bradley Cooper is fantastic as Chris Kyle. He's a really great actor, one of the best actors in Hollywood at the moment. Very convincing. Very subdued performance, which is really good for him, because he did have a bit of a reputation when he first started as sort of being overly flamboyant and trying to outdo everyone. But this was a very composed performance from Bradley Cooper and was definitely one of the film's strongest aspects. And then we have Sienna Miller, who was really great. She's sort of having a bit of a renaissance at the moment. She was brilliant in Foxcatcher, and even more so in this. You really get a sense of the impact that war has on the families of the soldiers. And she does a really great job of communicating that emotion. You can totally understand the turmoil that her character would be going through. Now, onto some of the issues with this film. It's very frustrating because the film is very well made, good actors, good director, could be a potentially very interesting premise, but there are a number of things in American Sniper that for me really got in the way of the story. So firstly, Chris Kyle as a human being is a very controversial guy. Did a lot of things, said a lot of things that a lot of people don't necessarily agree with, and you get the sense with him that there is a big grey area as to how people feel about this guy. And unfortunately for me, the film didn't understand that at all, and essentially portrays war and Chris Kyle as sort of black and white, good and evil, and I thought that was such a naive way of looking at it. What makes it really frustrating is there's some points in this film where you think it's going in the right direction, it just doesn't follow it through. They sort of touch on post-traumatic stress but never really delve into it, and are instead much more interested in sort of branding him as this American war hero, which I just found to be really convoluted and to be honest quite annoying. Another aspect of this film that quite annoyed me was how little treatment the Iraqis got. They really were just sort of painted as bland bad guys. There was not a lot of time dedicated to them at all, especially the Iraqi sniper who sort of becomes Chris Kyle's rival. I thought could have potentially been a really interesting character. They sort of touch on him, and at some point he was in the Olympics and stuff like that, and you think, oh, that's you know, an interesting tangent. And they never explore it. They just go back to the all-American hero, which really pissed me off. So as I said, American Sniper is very difficult to talk about because on one hand, you know, great performances, a really well-made film, you know, it looks great, but on the other hand, it was handled so poorly in some aspects and really detracted from the story. It was tense, at points it was very gripping, but for me, the patriotism really got in the way and ruined what could have been, you know, potentially a very interesting film. For me, American Sniper gets a 6 out of 10.